So I think the last food video I did was American foods banned in other countries. And now we're going to do foreign foods that are banned in the US. So let's get started. It's by the same channel, Weird History Food. So yeah, it should be good.
To state the obvious, Americans love food. And in the US, you can buy anything imaginable at restaurants, farms, markets, and other stores. Well, almost anything. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has banned many foods from being sold or eaten in the United States for various reasons. So, today we're going
I don't know. Can they be trusted that much, though?
to take a look at some foreign foods that are not allowed in the USA. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel. After that, please leave a comment and let us know what other funky food topics you would like to hear about. Now, let's take an illicit trip on the wild side of food.
Ooh.
Scotland is known for a number of wonderful things.
Is that one of them? Y'all tell me.
Scotch whiskey, bagpipes, and Sean Connery. But it's also known for eating haggis.
Haggis? What is haggis?
Haggis, for those who don't know, is a type of pudding composed of the liver, heart, and lungs of a sheep, mixed with beef and oatmeal, then seasoned with onions, cayenne peppers, and other spices. This mixture is then packed into a sheep's stomach and boiled.
How revolting!
Yeah, I agree. It's disgusting, but why is it banned?
This might not sound appetizing to everyone,
Doesn't
but
look
Scottish
nice
people
either.
are really into it. In fact, haggis is the national dish of Scotland, and if you get it there, it's usually accompanied by turnips and mashed potatoes. Americans who like haggis, however, are out of luck, because haggis is currently banned from being imported into the United States.
Oh, that looks so bad.
The U.S. banned all foods that are made from animal lungs in 1971. Since then, Scotland has made several efforts to influence the U.S. into lifting the ban on haggis.
Wait. You said lungs. Did he say that haggis was made from lungs? I thought it was liver and... That's gross.
And changing federal food safety regulations, but they've come up short each time. Too bad Sean Connery isn't around to ask them.
It's not like we need it.
Sometimes the U.S. bans food.
Why do we eat stuff that's like super expensive and gross looking? Like, I don't care. It's some delicacy, right? But who cares? It's gross looking. I can't do
for
it.
Health concerns about the dish itself. But there are other reasons John Q. Law might stop you from enjoying a particular meal. For example, to protect an endangered species. Such is the case with Beluga Caviar. Caviar is, of course,
I need
fish
you to
eggs.
stop.
Beluga caviar comes from the beluga sturgeon, which is the largest of the sturgeons.
That's interesting.
Weighing more than 2,000 pounds and measuring
wow.
more than 15 feet long. It can take up to 25 years for the female beluga to mature and produce eggs.
Oh,
Beluga
wow.
caviar
That's so messed up. Of course, we just swoop in and
varies
steal
in
the
color
eggs.
from light to dark gray and is the largest grain caviar. Their pearls are the most delicate and have a mild, buttery flavor. In 2005, however, the United States banned beluga caviar from further import due to overfishing. The U.S. was consuming about 60% of the world's beluga caviar, which is considered the Rolls-Royce of caviar due to costing $200 per ounce. In fact,
again, like, why do I need to spend so much money for something kind of gross? Why?
beluga caviar was so desirable that the available stock declined by 90%. Overfishing of the beluga can mostly be traced back to poaching in the black market, but that's just academic now. The bottom line is, no beluga caviar for Americans anymore. So as we've seen, the U.S. might ban a food for being unsafe, or because it derives from a species at risk. But there's yet another reason a food might be banned. Trading concerns.
Like parasites or something?
Take the Mirabel Plum, which is the small,
it's
oval-shaped
tiny.
and dark yellow fruit grown on the Mirabel Plum tree. It's sweet and full of flavor, and is used in fruit preserves and dessert pies. The fruit can mostly be found in France, where 70% of the world's Mirabel production occurs. The production...
A random side note, I wish I lived a place where I could grow fruit trees or something. I just think that's so cool. I don't know why I use the word cool, but I think it's really beautiful. Like, the fruit trees just always look so pretty when I see them.
The Mirabel Plum has been supported since 1996 by a protected geographical indication to help guarantee its authenticity. The protected origin designation makes it illegal to import or commercially sell the plums in the U.S. That being said, regular folks can grow them on their own property, as long as you don't try to sell them.
That's weird. So it's like not authentic? Is that what he said? I'm sorry if I messed that up. I don't want to make you watch it again, though.
Unpasteurized milk, or raw milk, is milk that comes directly from an animal's udder and hasn't been heat treated or pasteurized to kill any bacteria. Sounds great, right?
Oh,
no.
Indeed it does.
Well, it may not be. Raw milk carries a higher risk of being contaminated with harmful bacteria that causes foodborne illnesses than pasteurized milk does.
Yep.
Children, in particular, are at a higher risk for these diseases because their immune systems have not yet fully developed. The FDA banned the interstate sale or distribution of raw milk in the U.S., but states are able to adopt their own laws for the sale of raw milk. Given the risk, you might think that states would want to stop people from drinking the stuff, but not so much. In fact, drinking and consuming unpasteurized...
I didn't even know we had raw milk. Shows what I know. I thought it was, like, in this country, it was just all pasteurized.
Milk is 100% legal in all 50 states. That being said, only 13 states allow the sale of raw milk in retail stores. Of the other 37, 20 states prohibit the sale of raw milk, and 17 states allow the sale of raw milk on the farm in which it was produced. And
it's silly. If it's dangerous, it should just all be pasteurized. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, maybe there's like some nutritional difference. But other than that, I mean, you can get nutrients somewhere else. Less dangerous.
At the very least, many of the states that allow the selling of raw milk require a warning label informing consumers about the risk of pathogens that can be found in the milk. There is currently something of a movement in the United States to consume organic and locally grown foods.
Yes.
Some believe that raw milk is more nutritious and provides good bacteria for the body.
So we want to take a gamble with milk, really, people? Like, I understand wanting to be healthy, but don't put yourself at extra risk to be healthy.
Sassafras oil is extracted from the dried root bark of the sassafras tree. The tree, in case you want to be looking for one, stands anywhere from 20 to 40 feet tall, with slender branches and orange and brown colored bark. The leaves are oval and can grow to 3 to 7 inches long, and the flowers are small and of a greenish or yellow color. Historically speaking, sassafras has played a big role in various cultures around the world. For example, many Native American tribes use it for various medicinal purposes, including to help with acne, urinary disorders, and fevers. It can also be
But does it work, though?
Found in Chinese medications to help treat rheumatism and trauma. The twigs from the plant were one...
Okay, how is it we come up with one plant that like is like a cure-all? I'm so skeptical. Like, whenever I hear something like a cure-all, I just think, okay, sure. Prove it to me.
Used as toothbrushes, and sassafras was also used as an early anesthetic and disinfectant. Not only that, but sassafras was found in many distinct foods in the U.S., and it was known as a key ingredient in many root beers and teas.
Dang.
Sounds pretty useful, right? Well, don't start celebrating just yet. The FDA prohibits all sassafras bark, oil, and saffrole as flavorings or food additives. Sassafras is no longer considered safe for human consumption. It was actually banned all the way back in 1979 after research linked it to cancer. Also, when too much sassafras oil is consumed, poisoning can possibly occur.
As always with these historical medicinal herbs and things, somehow they just kill you faster. I don't know why we have to always find the thing that's just really poisonous.
The ortolan is a small, colorful bird in the bunting family, a category that also includes American tree sparrows. Once upon a time,
Wait a minute, this is a food video. We're not going to talk about eating them, are we?
Land called France, the ortolan was a chief ingredient in a highly controversial meal. The recipe called for the bird to be cooked for 8 minutes and served with a head attached. The bird was then meant to be eaten whole, including the head and bones. Due to its rarity, the killing and selling of the ortolan was banned in France in the 1990s. But that didn't stop poachers who continued to catch the small bunting and sell it to local restaurants. In fact, the law was so inconsequential that France's League for the Protection of Birds claimed that the ortolan population dropped 30% even after the ban was enacted. This forced the government to enact more stringent enforcement in 2007. But the killing of the rare bird is less controversial than the barbaric way in which it is killed.
No, don't tell me.
The birds being trapped during their migratory season and kept in covered cages.
He's gonna tell me. I mean, I eat chicken, so it's like, I feel bad for these birds, but not the chickens. But at the same time, they're like, I heard that there are more chickens on the earth than humans. So it's not like they're struggling as a species. And they're like this big. What a way. Oh, it's sad. I don't know. I guess I pick and choose, kind of.
The ortolan eats more at night. Covering the cages cruelly tricks them into gorging on grain, even to the point where their bodies double in size. This is a less gruesome variation on an alleged ancient practice in which the bird's eyes would be plucked out, fooling them into thinking it was night so that they would eat more. Either way, once the ortolans are fattened up, they're thrown, still alive, mind you, into a vat of Armagnac, which both drowns and marinates them. France now strictly enforces the ban on killing ortolans. In fact, the killing, cooking, or smuggling of the bird anywhere in the European Union or the United States is currently a crime.
Oh, wow. Good, I like that.
Kazumarzu, translated
Cheese?
into English, means rotten cheese. And if that doesn't sound horrible enough to you already, then allow us to point out that it's also known as...
It's moving!
Enough to you already, then allow us to...
Oh my gosh.
Point out that it's also known as...
I don't know why that's grossing me out so bad. I just feel like they crawled all over me.
Maggot cheese. Now you're probably thinking something like, okay, it has a disgusting name, but it's just a name, right? Well, this Sardinian cheese is typically soaked in brine, smoked, and then left to ripen in a cheese cellar. So far, so good. But then cheesemakers set it outside, uncovered, allowing cheesing flies to lay eggs inside it. The eggs hatch into maggots, which start feeding on the cheese. The maggots produce enzymes that promote fermentation and cause fats within the cheese to decompose. The cheese becomes super soft and leaves a burn on the tongue when eaten.
Are we really this desperate for just a little bit of food? We're not. This was a delicate process that they had to go through just to have maggots in their cheese.
Local Sardinians say the cheese is only good when the maggots are still moving. If the maggots are dead, then the cheese has gone bad and is too toxic for consumption. Kazumarzu is not in compliance with European Union hygienic standards.
So they have to be alive for it to be good. I'll pass.
Movies like 1975's Jaws make it seem like humans have a lot to fear from sharks. But in reality, the reverse is far more true. In fact, finning, the act of cutting off a shark's fin, is one of the greatest threats that sharks face. It's so dangerous because after a shark is finned, it's thrown back in the sea where it will drown, bleed to death, or be eaten by other animals.
Why? Why? That is so cruel. I'd feel almost better if they just like use the rest of it for something. Oh, how sad looking. That's terrible.
For those who want to protect the sharks, there is still a large market for shark fins to make shark fin soup, which is a popular and luxurious Asian dish. Shark fins are very popular in Asia and can be found in food stores, pharmacies, and fishing villages. The demand for shark fins has led to sharks being targeted solely for their fins. But don't expect to try that soup in the US anytime soon. The practice of finning is illegal in the United States.
It's cruel.
Ackee appears to be a very delightful and delicious...
Does it? It looks kind of intimidating to me.
...fruit, but appearances can be deceiving. For if the ackee is improperly eaten, it can cause vomiting or even lead to a coma or death. To do it right, you need to know that the ackee's fruits protect...
No, I don't need to do it right. I'm sorry, I keep pausing. I'm on a rant here. I don't need to do it right. Like, I could just not eat that one thing. Let's do that.
The pod turns red and naturally opens, revealing the edible portion, which is the many yellow aril that surround the toxic black seeds. The ackee fruit is originally native to West Africa, but was brought to Jamaica in
what is that? Not liver, maybe gallbladder or kidney? I don't know.
1978. In Jamaica, the harmful effects of ackee fruit are known as Jamaican vomiting sickness, and they're comfortable enough with it to have made it Jamaica's national fruit. The fruit can be tried in Jamaica paired with codfish, which is a popular dish. In the US, however, the FDA banned all ackee, though they later allowed the sale of frozen or canned ackee. The import of fresh ackee is still banned. The
What?
Kinder Surprise Egg is a hollow chocolate egg that holds a plastic capsule that contains a toy. The toy is usually a simple collectible, like a tiny bike or miniature
These are
beach buggy
banned?
pail. They are widely popular and are sold across the world, except in the United States. Not that it's hurting them any. In fact, even without the help from U.S. markets, Kinder sells more than 3.5 billion surprise eggs each year. Kinder Surprise Eggs have always been illegal in the United States. The 1938 regulation made it illegal to sell any candy that contains a non-nutritive object. Several efforts have been made to import the chocolate egg into the U.S., but the federal government has continued its ban and recalled the item each time. Luckily for U.S. consumers, Kinder also makes the Joy Egg, which is a more recent version that separates the toy from the chocolate in 2 sealed halves. The Joy Egg meets FDA regulations and is
That kind of looks good.
compliant with the Consumer Product Safety Commission. It's not exactly the same as the Kinder Surprise, but it's close enough so the fans across the U.S. can get their fix. So what?
I'm sure like little kids eat that and then it was a risk. Like, because, you know, kids just shove anything in their mouth. So I can see that, but just a cool little innovation. Anyways.
What do you think? What banned food sounds good to you? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, check out some of these other videos from our weird history.
This is the one that we did last time, this video. It's already on the channel. Ooh, I like these videos. They're kind of fun. I'm not a person who wants to experiment with food if it's weird animal products. I just feel gross doing that. So I'm not in a rush to try haggis or shark fins, or the little birdies. No, thank you. I'm good. I don't need fish eggs either. Like, I'm good. We're not struggling. These are all, most of them are expensive foods too. That cheese, maggot cheese. Why? There's like, there's so many cheeses out there. I don't need to have that one. But anyways, this was a fun one. Let me know if you liked the video in the comments. If you want to see something more like this, please subscribe if you liked my video, and I will leave this one in the description for you to check out for yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.